Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Hello, everybody. So, this window is very small. If I go down, we lose some of my face. Correct. Correct. Okay, so that'll do it. Some of you. Hello, G. That was a big yawn. It's very hot in this room, and I'm a little bit tired. But the game has started. The moves came in essentially on the hour, but then like 10 moves came in instantly. So we'll go through. So D4, Knight F6, C4, G6, King's Indian Defense, Kostya's favorite opening. Hello, Delish Chess. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? G and Delish. G6, so King's Indian. This is all very normal stuff. Knight C3, Bishop G7. We have a dojo eval bar as well, so this is human controlled eval. None of this engine malarkey for us today. And this is a normal variation. I've played this against Carissa Yip. So we get E4, Bishop E2, Knight F3, and Knight A5, A6, A5. Knight a6. I'm assuming it gives us some possibility to go to c7 after a c5 push. That would be my guess. But e5 is the normal King's Indian defense stuff, because otherwise I think it's more Benoni if you push c5, if I recall correctly. So we get castles. e5. Well, there we go. No c5. So what's the purpose of knight a6? Probably maybe to support c5 in case for a push, but maybe it's just to stick a knight on c5. The thing is, b5 comes. I would have thought we wanted a5 first, but we won't get too much into the nitty gritty. Bishop e3, queen e7, queen c2, and then Kostya decides to take in the middle, not allowing some d5, which is quite a normal plan by white to say, I will have the space. The engine quite likes it. But in terms of playing for a win, I'm not sure. This is a good pairing for Kostya. 100 points elo difference. His opponent will probably be trying to push with white. So we get takes and then knight takes, improving the knight. The bishop is on a nice diagonal here, and it's nice that it also views h6. Maybe in the future there's queen d2, bishop h6. Trying to get rid of this King's Indian defense bishop. This guy's a beast. Quite in many lines you wouldn't even exchange it for the rook because it does such a good job skewering the whole board. So knight e5 c6, h3. I'm assuming this is to stop any knight g4 trying to get the dark squared bishop. If white loses this dark squared bishop, the game becomes exponentially harder to do anything, let alone push for a win. If this guy is off the board, the dark squares around the black's king become so strong. Sorry guys, yawning. Very hot in here. So there's a small question. What's going to happen with this light squared bishop? Because h3, the bishop is guarding here. I mean, you probably don't want to necessarily give away the bishop pair anyway. This wouldn't feel great, I don't think. I think we'd go bishop d2. Maybe there's a world of bishop f4. But bishop d2, queen a4. We can't push because there's some kind of mate stuff. Maybe just h3. Anyways, c6, h3, rook e8, bishop f3. Interesting. So we're trying to say that d5 push is never really going to happen for black. If black has d5, then I'm assuming they're doing quite well. White is putting all of the pieces in a place where d5 is protected, and knowing about the key square of the position is always very helpful. Wow, sorry guys, this yawn central here. Yawn central. And also, notice chat is tiny down here, so let's big them up. Okay. Now we see the purpose of knight a6. It is to go knight c5. The question is b5 a problem for us? And the interesting route for this knight is that it's coming to e6. So let's say b5 expansion, which is a very natural move to make. We don't necessarily have to do it right now, but knight e6, I think we've somewhat improved the knight. We've got to always make sure that this pawn is defended, but maybe we can even take with the pawn push, takes. But there's too much pressure, I think. And then, okay, a move from our opponent, rook fe1. So prepare it to push in the center, potentially. Because it also means that if we get an opportunity to take, we can potentially reveal with tempi somehow. There is unfortunately no video of Kostya today, which is sad, but it's fine. So, first things first. After c6, Kostya's opponent had a 9-minute think. So this is great. Because that means Kostya probably got the first surprise. All of his moves up until that point have been under a minute, bar one move, which was 2 minutes. So after queen c2, Kostya thought for a minute, played takes in the center, knight takes, and then very quickly played c6. And then his opponent had a 9-minute think and played h3. Rook e8, bishop f3, and knight c5, and rook e1. So, what are all the plans? What do we want to do? Well, in the King's Indian, this bishop never really comes out until it wants to sack. Now, white has very much secured the light squares around the king, with bringing the bishop to f3. So in the future, these ideas probably don't happen, and also because these ideas usually happen when the center has been locked. We've got a bit of a fluid center now because we took on d4. So the game's a little bit more open than what I have played in the King's Indian. So this is quite interesting to see. Now, a really important factor here is that white has just offered a pawn, right? And it's a tricky one because this is where I was talking about the discovery earlier. So for example, knight takes, knight takes, knight takes. If we move the bishop, we currently have a pawn, but we've got to hold on to the piece somehow, right? And the thing is, it might generate an isolated pawn in the long term for us. But I don't see why taking the pawn would be such a bad idea. Now, obviously there is some deeper idea here, so let's have a figure. Let's have a think. I am also going to run to the loo quickly. Okay. So. Okay, so. Hello, franchise. Can't take the pawn because the trade twice on e4 and then bishop d2. Well, that's what I was wondering, right? So it takes, this is logical. We take bishop d2. But can we not just push f5? I don't see the problem. I do think we might end up losing the pawn, but like... What is the problem here? So you could argue bishop takes, pawn takes rook e3, rook here, but by that time I'm getting out, and then I could create a connected passes in the middle. Actually, they're not connected passes. I stand corrected. So chess flop. Like, I was trying to figure out what's so bad about this position. Oh, also this knight is hanging. So let's... this rook is hanging. Okay, so not as easy as it seems. But yeah, okay, we do this. I think f5. But maybe it's worth it for this activity. This bishop was not doing too much on d2. And now c3. We've got a lot of ways in towards the king. Maybe even queen b3 is an idea. Bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, and bishop d2. Whoa, hang on. Oh, you are so right. You are so right. Well, can I get away with... No. Okay. Very annoying central pawn. Okay. Hey, Synesia. One sec. Let me get all the info. Make sure I got it all right. Oh. It is in Greece. The 35th. Vasilis Theodoridis. It is in Greece. Ah, that makes sense. You recognize it. All right. So, what is the plan moving forward? Like this central control, really nice. The thing is, this bishop is not developed. And if this bishop is here, then we could take the pawn. But reality is, do we really want to move the bishop? Because then b5 could come, but then I suppose, like, so let's say bishop d7. Bishop d7, how do you protect this pawn still? Can you protect the pawn still? Because then all of this maneuver isn't so bad, right? Let's just say b5 for argument's sake. We could simplify very easily. And we emerge up a pawn. So, is there potential to stop us? Because now we can take. I actually am struggling to see how. Maybe there's a way to give up the pawn that blocks the file as well. For example, e5 takes. Doesn't feel the most ideal, but we say your queen and rook are on a terrible file. Thing is, we've got no control over the square in front of the pawn either, which I don't like. For white. For white. At the end, there was an exchange hanging as well. Yeah. Bishop d7 makes more sense to me, but after bishop d7, what can happen? So, bishop g5 could take away one of the attackers, but it doesn't really, because we will end up sidestepping. Actually, this does all the things. Yeah. Not so handy. I don't know. I am struggling to find a move for white, but after bishop d7, it feels like we should let the pawn hang. Like, I don't see how to save the pawn. But maybe that's just not the intent. I might put this on a physical board. So I've got a real board next to me. And so I prefer looking at the IRL board, you know. so this is going to be a big thing on Kostya. Yeah, so far he's only spent a few minutes. So I think he's spent probably a good 15-20 minutes on this move so far. Maybe close to 15. Maybe just bishop g5 or bishop f4. Yeah, bishop g5 makes a lot more sense to me. Because bishop d7 feels like it should make sense, right? No cam setup. No, not today, unfortunately. Selectors and apologies. Kostya said no cam today. Maybe his opponent had a problem with it. I'm not sure. It's so hot in this room, guys. All right, what are our other candidates? So we could also say let's chill and go a5. I think this gives time to double rooks, right? a5 just to stop b5, b4. Other things include getting the queen off the file. The problem with like queen d7 is that we do take the pawn. There'll be some bishop f4, I think, in some lines as well. Queen c7 doesn't feel like it does much. Bishop f4 makes a lot of sense because in the end of lines this pawn will be hanging. Oh, it's at times like this I wish I could see Kostya's video. We'd be able to see the vibe, the beautiful playing hall, the environment. Okay, he's still having a think, so this is a big long think. You like bishop d7 or a5? Ah, there we go. Those are the only two moves that make sense, any sense to me. Because there's a limit to my analysis. Okay. Now, what is the response? Because we are still threatening to take the pawn. Now we're not threatening to take the pawn. Okay. Let's actually analyze some moves. Bishop f4 does seem annoying. We do not have to take the pawn. Maybe we still go a5. Just to say no a3, b5, and b4, no b4 directly. Because we don't want to take the pawn now. Knight takes e4. Just win the pawn. I thought not, because I thought we'd get the d6 pawn, but I didn't actually calculate properly. So, takes. Knight takes, knight takes. Does this not just lose a piece if we go down the trades? Because they got an extra defender after the bishop moves. Oh, but this knight's hangs. Sorry. There's a lot of calculation to be done here. Two rooks for a queen. Now if the knight is hanging, the question might be, do we just sack anyway? But this defense, bishop g5 makes most sense. Take with the rook to defend the d4 knight. Yeah. But we can take here like now. And if you try and sack, we're gonna pick up all the things. I mean, it feels like black has some initiative here. And that this must be some kind of spicy prep. We are just picking up all the material. This also feels not too bad. Queen e5 on bishop g5. Check the knight. And the bishop. Oh. I think a bunch of moves just came in. Okay, so yeah, okay. Graph e1, knight e3, 17 minutes, 96, sorry, rook a d1, 30 seconds spent, so that move was played instantly. And then 8 minutes here. So the boards are getting updated bit by bit, which is annoying, so we're not getting like live. So Kostya opts to go knight e6, which was not on my radar whatsoever. And then the bishops. So this is a very solid position. I like this. Knight takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4. So we swapped a very well placed knight for a knight that's been on a journey, so for some tempi. Hello, Jacko. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So, what is the eval of this? Is the question. Ah, thanks, Jacko. So, we are following Kostya's game. It is round 3. He has won the first 2 rounds. It's a good start to the tournament. He played a 2100 and a 2057, beat them both. So, clean performances, as he should be doing. So that's good. This is the first kind of pairing where Might be a little bit tougher for him. 24-25. So, you know, higher rated by about 100 elo. And we got a King's Indian defense. So, as far as notable games goes, we are in a new territory. But Kostya's in a line where Black has an extremely high win rate in the at the master level. So, Justin Liang is 2600, played at 2869. This will be titled Tuesday, so I would have thought. So this might be a tricky one for White to play. Yamna Pomniachi against Timur Rajabov have been in this position. Draw in 2020. So bishop f3 is the move. Knight c5 also the move. Rook fe1. And here, the top three moves that we had a quick look at. Beautiful chess so far. Ah. Wow. That's amazing. Yako. That's amazing. And then, so here, both a5 and bishop d7 have been played, which were the kind of two gut moves that I was looking at. And then knight e6 also a move, which Kostya chose to play. So here, the only other game on the database here was Igor Efimov and Henry Koshin. But so this is a deviation, getting the rook to the file. I personally think this is a very natural move. I like the move. There is a semi-open file. It's good to be in control. So Kostya takes. Bishop e6. Finally getting this bishop off, connecting the rooks. So this rook has a choice of d8, c8, b8 even. And this pawn might be a little bit of a weakness in the future. There is a lot of pressure on d5. So the question is will we be able to hold this pawn? Will we ever be able to successfully push d5? So there may be a world on rook c8, d5, takes, bishop takes. This kind of hangs. Where we might be able to pick up something. We need the queen off the file. Hey Skibix, I am good. I'm extremely sleepy. This room is very warm and cozy and I can feel myself drifting off. Also, I've got no video of Kostya for this game, unfortunately. No, we're gonna... drop the cam down a tiny bit. Back to normal height. So you're not looking down on me so much. Oh, stretch. I need ice. Like a bucket of ice water. That's what I need right now. Just a ice bucket challenge. Am I traveling? All right, so. Sorry. No, I'm back home. I will be in Finland. In a couple of days' time, which will be awesome. And this opening was a King's Indian defense, so let's flicking through. D4, C4, D4, G6, knight F6, C4, G6, knight C3, bishop G7, E4, D6. And then knight A6, which is a bit of a funky line, but makes sense. E5, bishop E3, queen E7. Queen C2, Kostya spent some time here. And we take, and then C6. After that we get H3, rook E8, bishop F3, knight C5, and rook E1. And then knight C6, which was not on my radar. My two main candidates were bishop D7 and A5. Didn't even think about this. Yo, hey PMD. How are you? Are we not in July? Pawn Much Destroyer? I feel like your username should change every month. Oh man. Yeah, I seriously need like a adrenaline injection or something, guys. I'm struggling in the heat of this room. Anyway, we trade off and then bishop e6. And b3 was played. Okay, saying the bishop is hitting granite. And good luck pushing d5. Very annoying. What are the plans? Well, we've got a piece that is undeveloped. The question is it needed on the A file? So we can push a pawn? I don't think so. I think we want to maybe try and keep this intact where possible. I'm worried about this pawn being the weakness or main weakness of the position. Maybe a trade of dark squared bishops wouldn't be a terrible idea. Because this is on a dark square and it means this bishop is never attacking it. Maybe sooner rather than later, because for example, if we just make some more random moves, this will be a terrible move to make, but let's say we decide we want to double on a file. Oh, that's the move, yeah. This pressure could get a little annoying. Opponent is ahead on time though. But I do like Kostya's position. We do have less space, so maybe some piece trades would do us well. Knight d7. Knight b3. d5. Takes. We probably need rook d8 at some point. This bishop is annoying though. So maybe we do want to here takes. Rook d8. But the benefit of taking, there's some bishop here still as well. So bishop takes might... At the right point in time, because of the way that this queen is situated. Not now, obviously. Yeah, it is very much like a Maroxy's cubics. It's kind of annoying to structure to deal with. I am playing in a tournament in Finland, so I am on a team with Phoebe, Lula, and PhotoChess. So we're a stream team, and we will stream the Finnish tournament. And we're all playing Blitz. It's a Blitz tournament. Commentary. We will have a commentator. We will have some DGT boards. It'll be a bit touch and go because it's Blitz, but hopefully boards will be functioning and stuff like that. But we're staying in a cabin in Finland, which will be super amazing. We're also going to stay in Helsinki a little bit as well, but yeah. Sensei Piano. So this is non-commercial lo-fi chill. So it's about, you know, maybe that's also what's like bringing my energy down a little. But I think the heat is definitely the big contender. I kind of need to jump in the sea. So knight d7, bishop takes g7, king g7, queen d3. Let's have a look. Is there a way to save the pawn? Can we counterattack? But maybe we just try and make... No. Okay, so rook d8 is probably needed first, but this pawn. Very annoying. Ah, yes, there is. No, there isn't. Maybe bishop f8 is an idea. But I would want piece trade just because I'm a bit cramped. But maybe that's just the wrong way to go. Ah, but okay, I have a counter. Queen d3, knight e4. Queen takes, knight takes. And I'm saying, yes, you're up the pawn, but we damage the structure. Good luck. So how's this? Yog. I think this is interesting to play. So, you know, it's probably best just to take the pawn back and then we just say we're better. Because, yeah, after queen d3, that is annoying. So you probably don't want to take the pawn. We have improved some of our position, but I mean, I'm kind of happy to take the bishop. One of defenders gone. I am still a little stuck. Sorry, I had to actually calculate. Thank you for pushing me, giving me something to work with there. 97. I was like, there must be a way to save the pawn. But let's have a look. So we got to see that from a little ways out as well. So let's say knight d7, bishop takes, king takes, queen d3. It's not many moves. It's only 2 moves. Knight e5, queen takes, knight takes. And we, yeah, we're doing good. we can't go rook d1 because queen takes. But maybe we can, because we'll go rook takes, and then take. That would be the way. Yeah, so that's... I like knight d7 here, only on that basis, but okay. So knight d7 we know bishop takes, queen d3 isn't working. Now the question is, do you still want bishop take? Or do you want them to take? Does he want us to take? So, bishop takes g7 is definitely an option. Rook d3, also a huge option, right? Why, we've released all the pressure on this pawn. We're not really winning it. So why not just put pressure here? You think the pawn is gone because you don't want to play something like knight h5, knight e5. Seems good, but what about a simple bishop e2 to add more pressure on d6 later? Knight h5. I like knight d7 because knight h5, I'm worried about this, but maybe it's nothing to be worried about. But it seems like a lot to be worried about, you know what I'm saying? But maybe this knight needs to come around. Because we don't want to take, because then we're just kind of giving them stuff. Oh, but hang on. If you do this, is this not possible now? Huh. F5. So knight, we're saying knight d7. If knight back, just go hard or go home. I like it. Yeah, I like f5. Maybe we're just gonna... Actually, I'd be just down to offer a trade. Feels like I get to improve all of my pieces for nothing really. This though. Okay. F5 is definitely a spicy meatball. (17-minute) 97 played. Let's go. All right. Kostya played 97. Huge. 17-minute think though. We're currently down half an hour on time pretty much. So the pace will need to be picked up at some point. But I think, you know, he's chill with queen d3 idea stuff. The problem is we can afford to drop the pawn because of this knight e5. 97, 95, let's go. Yeah, so you think we'll play bishop takes, king takes. But no queen d3, right? And then f5. Yes. Can we just push? Is that weird? Is that too much? Also, is there some like craziness? I like a good crazy move every now and then. Like check, pawn takes, bishop takes, threatening to come in and check, for example, right? I think just a cheeky king up here, though, does the job. Oh, does it? Maybe it doesn't. Oh no, what are we doing? Check. Whoops. Like, this is very tempting. Well, queen g5, I don't think we do straight away. I think we sack first, right? Threatening checkmate. And there's no queen. Like, this looks dangerous to me. I like knight check. Knight check isn't on the suggested move list. I guess we don't have to take. You can also take the bishop, I guess. Bishop d5. What? That's nice. That's very nice. Rook takes. And you get a super powerful knight. I mean, it should be good, but we do have to be a little bit careful. Like, I think activity is coming. Okay, no, okay. We take some. Knight e4, or also knight e4, I guess. No, this doesn't. Surely this can't work. Yeah, knight e4 can't. Hey, how you doing? It's going good. As I've been telling everyone, this room is like really warm and it's making me very sleepy. But this is a very interesting position, that's for sure. There's a lot going on. It'd be interesting to see f5 after knight here. For example, I was just saying if the rooks are going to double. Now, this feels a bit awkward, this rook doubling, for some reason. Something in my gut is just saying no. But it could also just be rook e3. Bishop e2. Thank you for the follow. I did see the World Championship is going to be in Switzerland, guys. In Geneva. I just came back from Switzerland, so yeah. Gukesh versus Sindarov in chat. Who do you think is going to take the dub? I mean, I know the flow of the tide, but I do think a match is different, and I don't think it's going to be... Oh, I mean, Gukesh needs to sort his mental out. If Gukesh collapses, he'll collapse. If Nordebek collapses, he'll bounce back. Like, if Nordebek loses the game, he'll just be chill. But Gukesh, I don't know, man. He's probably really gutted because he probably feels like he's lost it. And he didn't know what it was. And he's still figuring that out. And the crown is heavy. I'm from London? No. From Jersey, my friend. Jersey. Not the one you're thinking of, probably, though. Because everyone in the US, well, actually, globally, it's like, you don't sound American. And it's like, that's because the Jersey in America is New Jersey. And it's named after Jersey. Yeah, exactly. That's my thing, Skibix. That's what I've been saying to people. Like, everyone thought he would steamroll Ding, and Ding just came out first game win. And then it was a cool match. And then Ding blundered in the last game. Like a crazy blunder. So, you know, very sad. Also, you guys, if anyone is in chat that is a dojoer or not a dojoer, but is interested in improving at chess, ChessDojo, are doing live classes. I've been running them. They've been doing really well. I've been participating in the live classes. They've been very helpful for me. So I would highly recommend. Yeah, and that's more than Ding did, because Ding was bleeding Elo also Skibix. Yeah, Magnus just put a curse on it. By handing it down, it loses its value, and therefore, like, when you are world champion, you don't feel like you've earned it because Magnus exists. I think is also a thing, which is kind of mad. But it's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, so we got Queen D2 instead, probably prepping this, which makes a lot of sense, because then Bishop takes, King takes, Queen takes would be the thing. So then there's a question of, can the Queen come in? Now, I don't think so, because this would be kind of nice for us, not gonna lie. We hold the pawn, we put some pressure. Then the bishop will come back around. Maybe there's a world we push f5, f4. But look at this totem pole of pieces. Yeah, and actually, you're right. Bishop e5 straight away. Oh, bishop e5 played. Yeah. And now we're just kind of chill. The big question is, okay, so bishop has been moved back because of these 95 reasons. Because in other words, if we had taken, queen takes, this is definitely better for black. I would have assumed hardcore. This is a dream. So, queen d2 makes it obsolete. Makes what obsolete? Bishop e5 was played, by the way. And then bishop e2. So now we got to figure it out. The knight can come to f6 now, but then we might have some small-ish problems because our bishop gets stuck and we have to force something to happen when we don't really want to force things, you know? Yeah, that doesn't feel good. You really want to play something like knight b6. How about f4? Yeah, I mean f4, you yeah, it doesn't look fun. Knight b6, f4, bishop takes, queen takes, d5, f5. Yeah, f4, f5 looks very scary for us. There is a world, putting this one out there, of queen h4. And I mean, if queen h4, g3, we can bail with a draw. Just double checking. Can we? No, we can bail with checkmate. Whoops. Oh, but probably a draw here, because then after bishop here, bishop back, all of this is covered. So there is potentially a draw opportunity with queen h4. Actually, this would be maybe unnecessary to allow as well. So it's probably not even a draw. I was just looking at ways to equalize for no reason. Queen f6, there is no f4 also, correct. I like queen h4. But queen h4, bishop takes, knight takes f4. Queen f6 I like more so than my queen h4 now. But my idea is that white is barreling down the middle of the board, and so we're going to redirect. But then after this and this, like, what really happens? Threatening some things. Nope. Now we're looking to try and maneuver the knight somewhere out of the way. But yeah. Coach is bleeding time. There's too much. Yeah. Bishop takes e5. No. Well, the question on bishop e5, would you take with the pawn or the knight? f4 is just a concern. Kostya playing as he's playing your moves. That can't be good. All right, let's make sure that we are up to date. Oh, so queen f6 played and then bishop f1. Sure. So not allowing a lot of the problem sacrifices. And the way that that's happening is that the bishop discommunicated the queen from a lot of the squares on this second rank. So the bishop coming back means that any queen h4, take, bishop takes, it's just met with either bishop g2 or more simply queen g2. And there is no kind of takes here because the rook is lovely and defending the bishop. F4 still maybe slightly worrisome. But there could also be a way. No, let's not do it this way. But one thing I don't necessarily mind terribly is trading like this, yeah? We still lose the pawn. Okay, I do mind this terribly. I definitely mind this terribly. It's a terrible decision. Yeah, okay. All right. I will go get a snack. Any updates, guys? I was just saying. But he just committed to the backwards pawn. Well, what I thought committed to the backwards pawn. So c5 is played. And bishop takes e5, which I'm shocked about because I assumed bishop e3. Now we can go symmetrical with the pawn structure. Or, thing is, this knight is getting to e4. D5, sorry. D5. Now, what was wrong with bishop e3? Why was this such an ailment? Oh, this is why. The knight just hangs. Let's look at the board, Matthew. c5 is a big boy move. Because you're giving the knight access to d5, really. But that's the payoff. To get rid of your backwards pawn, if that is the game plan for take and take. Right? Now, we can go knight b1, knight b8, knight c6, and knight d4. And then this position is like very symmetrical, but I would say our light squared bishop is better than white's light squared bishop to some extent in the long term, just on the basis of the pawn structures. But how you doing, Jake? Welcome in. And DE take was played, yeah. So that is the game plan. Now, the question also on knight d5 is, do we then have to go rook c8 first? Probably. Because otherwise, knight c7, little bit of a pain. Just losing the exchange. But it is quite a close opposition, but yo. What do we need to figure out what we want to do about our queen after the immediate knight d5? Do we just move her and try to ignore the knight? Yeah, so knight d5, we either give up the bishop and create a passer, which is not ideal. But if we were to plant a knight or a king on d6, then maybe it's okay. But knight d5, queen d8. And then I think we rotate around. Maybe we even offer the knight trade, but no. I think we get our knight to d4. And there is a world, like, is f4 worth it for them? Probably not. Knight d5, rook c8, knight takes f6. You pretty much have to take, whoa. Knight d5, rook c8. Knight d5, queen d8. I think the threat is stronger than the execution, actually. I think you leave this here for a little hot second. There is a world that we could try b5 ideas. After knight d5, there might be some interesting like ways to try and get action down the files. So knight d5, queen d8. It just all feels very slow. Rook d6 has not played. Sam, are you getting a more updated feed than me? Because I've just got up to d takes e5. Ah, right. How you doing, Sam? Good to hear. Good to hear. All right. Queen e3. Protecting the pawn. b6. You wish Kostya remembered one more. It's all right. What did we prep, Sam? I'm assuming knight c5. Because my idea here was bishop d7 or a5. Those are the two moves. Bishop d7, right? Dude, I was on this. Bishop d7. I was like, it's tough, man. Let's go. Exactly. That was my point. That was my point. What was the analysis on bishop d7? I mean, okay, we did some silly moves like b4. E5 doesn't do anything. Bishop f4 and bishop g5. All ideas that we were trying to figure out. Really? And bishop h5, we're okay to allow? But, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if this is a prep thing, because bishop d7 was the move I instantly came to, because I was like, what else do we do? Because we can't take the pawn, right? And bishop d7 just enables us to look at taking the pawn, you know? Oh, we've got some moves. No, we don't. So, yeah, when Kostya comes out, depending on how he's feeling and stuff, I will ask him about why knight e6 over bishop d7. Knight e6 has been played. Bishop takes d4 and black is just better. Sure. Yeah, because I kept forgetting d4 was hanging in a lot of the lines we were looking at. Okay, so we were still in prep here. Maybe. Yeah. So I mean, okay, he will have definitely have considered bishop d7 and a5. I also was wondering if a5 is just a move. Because we're just still saying, what are you gonna do, buddy? You know? You reckon? You really reckon he was trying to recall prep here? I mean, the benefit of me having no prep here is that if you, yeah. Yeah. Kostya's time usage is not great. Hey, Simon! There he is. Wow. I haven't seen much of you on Twitch. How you doing, dude? Welcome in. We're currently doing commentary for Kostya. You don't think he's very comfortable in the structure? Yeah, I mean, the pieces are limited, but I think long-term the bishop is nice. Hey, every video that Simon does is funny, Sam. Everyone. It's nice, yeah, facts, right? It's nice to have a professional in the content world. Not just, like, I like the skits, right? I like people who can write skits. Bias. Because I can't do it. I have huge respect. Oh, I can do it, but it takes me forever. But also, doing it on your own, that's the impressive thing, I think. I need people. I need to bounce off people. People make things better. Should do a video with Kostya. Should do a video with me. Screw Kostya. Kostya, Matt, and Simon video doing soon. Indeed. I need to make my way to Canada. That's the thing. I have been to Quebec, but I've got so many people I need to visit. London. When are you in London? I can do London pretty easy. Kostya might not be. Well, Kostya's in Europe at the moment, obviously. You're in Uzbekistan? I'm in Uzbekistan. Sweet. Sick. Ooh. I'm in Uzbek for the Olympiad. So, yes. I'm assuming you're there for the Olympiad. Sweet. I don't know if you meant London in September or Uzbek in September, but one of the two. If you're in either of them in September, I can probably make it work. Alright, so b3 played. Uzbek in September, cool. So b3 played. Sort of double protecting the pawn, I guess. Maybe we knew the rook was coming in because we want to move the knight somewhere. Because in an ideal world, we'd get knight to d4, right? So you probably want knight b1, knight c6, knight d4. Knight d5 is coming. And then, okay, now the problems are getting more and more. Because like I said, the threat was stronger than the execution with knight d5. Knight d5 is always coming. Very annoying. This is not a fun position. Okay. I think my assumption is that this is to support the c6 square. So on knight d5, we'll go queen g2. Sorry, I'll put it on the board, guys. And then we're looking to try and get our knight in. And then this rook's kind of like on its own. Now, the fact that he's put the rook in actually makes me think that this is not going to come in for a little while, because the rook will be isolated, because knight comes in, takes, and then what are you doing with your rook, right? Provided our queen's out the way. So, yeah, this is kind of a tough one. This structure is weird. That is for sure. And doubling rooks is also very annoying, because we might just have to bite the bullet. Oh no, we can't do it like this. Oh goodness. This is painful. I guess we could do it like this, but for example, not ideal. I just hung the queen as well, like a tool. So I don't like this at all. I think the pressure is now really starting to mount. I think on this we've got to get the queen out of this 95 shenanigan stuff. But then we just lose 2 pieces for the rook. And yeah, okay, I think I need to adjust the human eval, guys. I have not adjusted it all game. And I think white is, I hate to say it, kinda, I think they're just under +1. Yeah, plus 0.8. I agree. I agree. So. This is real tough. Oh, but hang on, wait. Okay, cool. Yeah, this makes lots of sense. I mean, I guess we could go here. This doesn't feel good. But then we get knight f6, and then we're okay. So maybe this is the play. Maybe it's got to be like queen e7, but the thing's on queen e7, knight d5. Maybe we do it this way now. And that wouldn't be so bad. That would be a good way to transition out. So maybe it's got to be queen e7 after the rook comes in. Fa! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be going through my head. That's for sure. So this is a tough position, but I think queen e7 might hold it through. Are there any other obscure moves? Like on queen e7? Okay. On rook across? I mean, this also just stops any queen e7 stuff, which is really annoying. But then we're not so concerned, I don't think, if we can get knight f6. Or knight b1. Yeah, like... Because the light squared bishop is actually like, if we transpose through this, okay, the activity of the rooks is unparalleled. But the knight versus bishop, if we can try and get some trades moving, there might be something. Now, it might be that we could trade off like so. Hey, Mike. 95 is awful for white. Right. But, yeah. Threat is stronger than the execution. Oh, but 95, I also just do this. No, I don't. Whoops. Sometimes you really struggle to watch Kostya's game. Poor Kostya. Alright, I'm low in the chat, man. Sorry, guys. I've been, like, drifting slowly down. Like, I'm... It's so warm in this room. Like, I'm just, like... It's not like I've been crossing the Sahara Desert kind of warm, but... I could have a nap. Just a little one. And Sam, I'm playing a Blitz event in Finland coming up. You may or may not be aware. So I'm playing the Team Blitz Finnish Championship. The Finnish Team Blitz Championship. With Phoebe, Lula, Photo Chess. I also convinced Tushar, so Sadistic Tushi, to come in and play. Ooh, yeah, this is not fun. Because this pawn is an annoying one. Any advice? Although my OTB Blitz, so I played Mateus Bluebarn in a Blitz game. One Blitz game. 5-0. OTB. Bro, I equalized. I got to an end game. And then I just blundered an exchange. But yeah, he was definitely better for chunks of the game. And then I found resources, equalized, and he was like, he thought I was like 2100. It's crazy. I was like, yep, yeah, that's right. You are correct. 2100. Kostya playing fast. Kostya has to play fast now, but he's still been using more time than his opponent. Oh, wow. Okay, so now the pawn is hanging because Queen E7 has come. I prefer this to how things came out. I think just doubling first felt like a better idea to me, but maybe this is just way more annoying to deal with. Because this knight is just going to be a killer. Oh, this is why. We're losing a pawn. We're just losing a pawn. But that said, we gain a file. Semi-open file, kind of. 96 is also in. Oh, 96 played. Yeah. Of course. Guess you're gonna do something like this. Knight takes this. Knight here. Oh my goodness. Alright, you might even have to go rook f8. This is cooked. I think we're cooked. I think we shall put the eval to plus 1.89. Rook cd8, knight a7, knight c6 is the idea, no? Knight b8. Okay. Just go knight back. Yes, sorry. But if we can get our knight to d4, if we can do it, it might help us out a bit. I don't know what I'm doing now, guys. I need sleep. Yeah, if we can get the d4 square, then maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Knight b8, good resource. Also, human evaluation. So, okay. +1. 0.1. It's got random, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, Google Sheets. So, got random little, steps. If I'd planned it properly, it would have, done better. Okay, so rook c8 played. So we're saying, yep, have the pawn. And then we're going to play knight b8. The time situ is problematic, though. This is the thing. But if Kostya has only moves to make, sometimes it makes life easier. I think you gotta take the pawn. I was like, do we want to just try and double up while we can? But a6, knight c7. Oh, we've gone rook d8, sorry. After rook d8, yeah. Yeah, okay. Same. And then we'd have no knight b8. Well, we do still, actually. Because this knight gets a little bit sketchy. Okay. But maybe this is holdable because the light squared bishop for white is just not going to be in the game for a little while. So you might need some f4 to try and free it. Get this pawn out somehow. But not until later. Not until much later. But the power of the rooks is very much kind of nullified at this point in time. There is only one open file, but there's about to be potentially a semi-open file. No, it isn't active because it's hitting granite. But I was thinking, like, in the long term, the pawns being on light squares is going to be harder, or easier for us to attack. Yes. We're about to be down a pawn. Yeah, well, because also, knight c7 seems a little annoying. Let's limit the knight b1 by just attacking. I mean, we'll take queen takes. So. We can always go knight d5 as well. Ah, maybe this would be the more to play. Anyways. The opponent's friend lost. The opponent has friends? They're not allowed to have friends, Sam. They're the opponent. They're not allowed to have any fun or happiness or joy. Okay, so similar idea to my queen g6, but queen c3. We'll put some pressure. But now, I think we can get away with knight b1. No, we can't. I thought I had something. But maybe it's... Okay, trading queens, probably a little scary. So let's not do that. But we do have to protect this pawn. It is a passer that we create though, right? Mouse slip. So I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't take the pawn because he's just being mean. This is brutal. This is brutal. Because knight c7 is just annoying as well. All right, well, who's his opponent? How old is his opponent? Okay, opponent 19. So, you know, not super young, but not super old. But I am at 19, 24, 25. Wow. Maybe just f6 and prepare for the hurt. Ouch. Not as scary as a 2400 plus 15-year-old though. Sam. But they're all scary. Anyone above 2200. So that's when you start getting into like, ugh. No chance. Sam, I played a classical game in the Beale Chess Festival. And I played actually a few. And I sacked a piece for a masterful, you know, like immortal, and it didn't work. Did we consider a5 at all? Earlier in the game we considered a5, but we haven't considered a5 here. Oh, well, that doesn't work. Hang on. My bad. My bad. I mean, a5. I like the concept. That looks clean. Do we just come rook back in though? Then knight c7 is looking kind of annoying. Oh, we gotta move. a5 played. Good spot. Good spot. Last minute spot. Who was it? Who was it? Who said a5? Jake, you're on it. This is one of the most passive positions I think I've had to have seen Kostya. Yes. Annoying. Exactly. Exactly. We're not dropping a pawn. I need some adrenaline or something to like boost my soul. I am not like, I'm dozy. Dozy is a good word. Dozy is a great word to describe how I am right now. So what are we doing after rook ed1? Praying. Prague. I think we choose to drop a pawn. I think we give him a pawn. And we get our knight to d4. Or try to. You'd be tempted to resign. We think it's that bad, eval-wise? I mean, it feels kind of bad. Plus 1 point. .6 from Sam. Anyone else got any suggestions on we can move the eval bar? But on like 1.9 now, maybe that's a bit harsh. 2.1. Gotta go for dinner. All right, Sam. See you in a bit. You know, the dojo hat. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, right there. Oh, good stretch, good stretch. Oh. Woo. Now we're feeling it. Now we're feeling it. I need to go and do some yoga. Oh, I might go yoga tomorrow. Damn. Like heated yoga. I like to do yoga in 40-degree heat. Just sweating it out. Makes you feel like you're working hard. Alright, knight c7 played. So, what's the strat? Rook f8. Where's the knight going afterwards? Is the key question. Yoga and handstand. Right. Exactly. You know me. You get me, Simon. You know what? We've never met, but I think you're my soulmate. As I'm sure many people do. It's the hair, man. It's all the hair. It contains, like, knowledge, I'm sure, right? I saw a hot take on Subway Takes the other day. There was a guy who's wearing a hat very similar to this. And his hot take was the UK government should give people free hair transplants in Turkey. Because hair is happiness. And then he said the Addams Family, right? You know the Addams Family? The show? He was like, who's the most unhappy character? It's like Uncle Fester, the completely bald guy, not hair on his body. Who's the happiest character? It. It's it? It is it? The hair it is called it. Yeah, right? People just have respect for it. I never got, so I've had my hair like shoulder length, but it always just annoyed me so much that I just, I could never power through. All right, rook f8, rook 1, d1. Ouch. Things are not so fun. Now, I see some various problems. One of which being knight takes here, but I guess we do this. Oh, we do it this way though. We do it this way. And then it's okay. Okay. No, okay, so maybe there's some ways out. Okay, I'm sure my calculations are not the one. But 96 is not going to be the play. I just don't see the follow-up hugely, unless we're going to... Like, what are we doing? Is there a world there's like knight a8 at the end of a line where we can try and pick this pawn off? Or not even at the end of a line, just here, right? We could end up trapping ourselves there. Takes, rook takes. Knight here. Yeah, okay. No, okay. Not that simple. That would be a repetition at any rate. Because we're threatening big things. Okay. I see chat. Can we get away with f6 now? f6, rook d6. Feels just... Oof. Yeah, now I think we have problems. Knight b8 played. Great. This is the way. This is the way I think it should work. I am not playing at Uzbek. No, Simon. So, I said to my federation, because I could make the team, although I didn't perform well this league, so it's probably a toss-up, but I said, if there is someone else going, or someone else who hasn't played for the Jersey team, I'm going anyway. So I'm either working at Uzbek or I'm playing. I would have preferred to play. But I was like, look, if it's a choice of someone else on the team getting a spot there, wouldn't have an opportunity to be there, I will be there anyway. So prioritize someone else. And then, yeah, so they put a couple new people in, which is awesome. And then I got the news that I wasn't going to be doing the broadcast production because FIDE iced us out. Uzbek wanted us, but then FIDE called them and said there has to be a Russian team. So yeah, fun times. But then I'm going with ChessFam now. So long story short, I'm working. But ChessFam, we will have events. Oh, I might have an amazing content opportunity for you. Like with someone famous sports person. Because you would probably do something epic with them. I need to double check it's all confirmed. And I can't say who it is publicly, but if you are there, we've got access to someone really fucking cool. So yeah, I'll keep you in mind and we'll probably contact you because we will have a few different, actually, well, we'll have a few different creators coming out for us. But if you're there anyway, then I will just, I'm assuming you're working. I don't know who for or what for, but yeah, we can figure something out, I'm sure. All I will say is it's one of the world's goats. Like literally a goat. Like unrivaled. Ooh, okay. So queen takes pawn here is possible, but we can go back there. But then we get our knight to d4. Oh, and knight takes is also annoying. Yeah, that was also the problem with this. I thought we had a better way to do this. Obviously not. Okay. This is tricky. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but there's hope. If we get our knight to d4, there is hope. Some small amount of hope. Really? But I feel like it's a staple in the position, no? Yeah, because they are retaining that knight. Sorry, in my evaluation is like if the bishop goes for the knight, then we've got chances because all the pawns on dark squares, the bishop won't be able to do too much. Blah 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 blah. I also have a big no, I don't have a big query. I lied about my query. Oh, this is not fun. This is not so fun. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, yeah. I think we're a little cooked. So queen c8 played, takes. And the bishop just needs to come here. To be just really annoying. But again, knight does hold some things, but we're just going to lose other things. Okay, if the bishop's here, we have some time, but... I can't hold on to everything. Okay, now I have chances to suffer. Why trade off the knight though? Exactly. Yeah, that's a fair question. I mean, just queen d6 maybe as well. Yeah, maybe there's too much counterplay here. No, there is no counterplay here. It's falling apart. Yeah. Queen d3, d6 played. I don't see how you hold on to everything. Okay, you can try here. A queen here is also just disgustingly annoying. Check. Queen's hanging. Etc. And just check and you lose the pawn, so you'd have to do this. There is no rush. Okay, this is an interesting move. Again, many moves I have not considered. But this is holding on. We're trading knights and just saying good luck with your extra pawn. Because your bishop is going to struggle to break through. But now... Okay, the passed pawn is going to be death, I think. Question. How are we losing the second pawn, Sam? Yeah, you take CD. Ah, CD. Oh, the knight is hanging, of course. Of course. Okay. So we try and hold on for dear life. Oh, this would be okay though. Yeah, because after this, I don't think we're losing a second pawn, but I think we're just not making it. It's not happening. Like, yeah, I don't think we're losing the pawn. I just think we're losing. Ouch. And also 5 minutes. 5 minutes till the 7 moves. Not ideal. Poor Kostya. Where did it go wrong? Okay. Oh yeah, okay, we can offer a queen trade first. Guess we go back. And then this bishop here. The bishop activates. I am tired. Okay, he does choose a gun knight up here, pushes the pawn. Bishop here is also going to be a killer. I mean, what are we doing? What do we do? This wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. This is going to be resigns, yeah. So oh, I guess there's just stuff like this coming as well. Okay, and resigns comes. Sad. Unfortunate. Tough game. Really tough game. Yeah, bishop d7, a5, or knight e6. It was not on my radar, knight e6 at all. Alrighty. Alrighty. Tough game. Tough game, dude. I think Kostya has some prior obligations, so he will not join us. But he'll be good. Onwards. Tough game today. Also, he must be drained, because I am drained. And I didn't even play. Alrighty. I will catch you all later. I am free to raid, so if there's anyone you would like to raid, let me know. I can raid from both channels, because I have the power. I have the power. Anamaya. Alright, Sam. You got it. As always, we end on a message on my channel. A very important one, because there is not enough of this in the world. And all it is the simple act of checking in with someone. That's it. It could be someone that you're worried about, you haven't spoken to in a while, that you thought drifted off, and you're going, it's a bit weird that they drifted off. And just letting them know that you think about them. It could also be on the flip side, someone that you used to proper belly laugh with back in the day. And you can just remind them of that. No obligation to like reconnect and you know, try and make a friend again. But a message like that can really change the course of someone's day, and make them feel great. So why wouldn't you do it? And people will appreciate you. On the flip side, if they're not having such a great time, it can do a lot more than that. In one bad moment, if you catch someone at the right time, just letting them know that you think about them, that you value them in some small way, it can make the difference. So on that, we are starting the raids on both channels. I appreciate all of you dealing with my low energy today. It was very just, you know, so thank you, and I will catch you on the flip side. I probably won't stream again tonight because I have work to do, but maybe tomorrow. Peace.